My daughter spent 3 weeks organizing her cousin's birthday party, and I paid $2,300 for it. Then we found out she wasn't even invited because she's in a wheelchair, so we didn't go, just sent this gift. When they opened it, half the guests left because the invitation never came. Not a glitch now. Not a delay, not lost in spam. Everyone else got theirs. The big animated email with dancing animals and jungle drums, and you're invited flashing like it was the Oscars. My son got one, I got one, even my ex-husband, who hasn't shown up to a family event since 2019, got one, me didn't. She checked her inbox like it owed her money. Every hour before school, after dinner, sitting in the car at Target, she'd glance at her phone, click, refresh, wait, nothing. And every time she smiled a little smaller. At first I thought maybe my sister just forgot to include her address. I mean, that's believable, right? She says. Out to brain, 3 kids, full-time job, chronic main character energy. It happened, so I called just to check. I had the phone on speaker. Meal was in the kitchen with me, folding little paper napkins into triangles for the party table. She was so proud of her work, said she wanted the party to look fancy, but chill. My sister picked up right away. Hey, I said, casual like this wasn't going to be the moment that broke something. And both of us, I think Mia's invite didn't come through. Silence. Then yeah, I'm so. Tyler asked if she could, not come. I thought I misheard her. I'm sorry. What? He wants it to be for fun, light, and with the chair and everything. It might be a bit much. I didn't say a word. I just looked at me. Or she was still folding napkins, but her hands had stopped moving. Her eyes didn't lift. She just stared at the table like she was trying not to exist. I hung up. I didn't try myself to keep my voice steady. We sat there in silence for a while, just the sound of the dishwasher humming, and one of those awful jungle-themed party songs playing from the Bluetooth speaker. Then Mia said without looking up, he doesn't want me. They're not a question, just a fact. My chest burned, but I stayed calm because I've learned that when you're a mom and your kid is hurting, the last thing they need is to watch you fall apart. I took a breath. He's an idiot. I said, you made half this party happen. She nodded, swallowed, still didn't look at me. I thought maybe they forgot. She whispered, I didn't think they'd actually leave me out. I didn't know what to say to that, not without swearing. So I said nothing. A few minutes later, she got up and rolled herself to her room without a word, closed the door softly behind her. That softness, that's the part that killed me. I stayed in the kitchen and stared at the napkins she left behind. Perfect little folder, triangles lined up in rows like tiny white flags. Surrender. Later that night, I opened my laptop and pulled up the spreadsheet, the one where I tracked all the stuff I paid for to help out. My sister had called me generous, said she didn't know how she'd pull it off without me. $800 for the venue deposit, $300 for the magician, $450 for theme decorations and centerpieces, $200 for catering extras, $550 for party favors, balloon delivery, and printed signs, $2,300 total. And that doesn't even include the late night runs to pick up supplies or the hours I spent designing the welcome board on canvas. I stared at the numbers and thought they didn't just exclude her, they let her build a party and unlocked her out. And I let them. I sat with that for a while, let the guilt thing get teeth in. Thought I was helping. I thought being the yes person was the right thing to do, but all I done way as fun the party that hurt my kid. And that's when I decided we weren't going. Not one of us, not me, not her brother, not me. But we were still sending something the next morning. I told me at breakfast, we're not going. I said. She didn't look surprised, just nodded, eyes on her cereal. But I added, we're sending a gift now. She looked up. What kind of gift? I shrugged. When they won't forget. She raised an eyebrow like a flaming bag of dog poop. I snorted, tempting. But no. She paused. Will I get in trouble for it? Definitely not. Will they? Hopefully. She gave me a small real smile for the first time since that phone call. I mean, she said. And just like that, the fog lifted a little. We didn't say anything else. We just started planning. I didn't need revenge. I needed the truth. To walk into that party wrapped in a bow and sit itself down next to the cake. They wanted her quiet. We were going to make some noise, By the time I finished packing the gift, I wasn't just mad about the party sniffer, just the one thing, it's the weight of every little thing that came before it, all the moments you swallowed, all the times you let it slide because it's family, the unspoken rule that you're not allowed to call it what it is. But now I was done pretending. I didn't always know. Oh, my place in the family. But my sister did. She figured it out early, how to cry just enough to stay innocent, how to break things and get thanked for the lesson. I was the kid with band-aids in my backpack and the schedule in her hand. I got praised for being so mature, which really meant you're low maintenance and useful. By the time we were two teenagers, I was helping with school runs and last-minute birthday gifts for her friends. She forgot people's birthdays. I remembered them for her. My mom said I was naturally giving. I wasn't. I was just conditioned to keep everyone from falling apart. And when things did fall apart, I cleaned up the mess. That's how I go. The role, the fixer, the helper, the wallet. So funny thing, being the responsible one, you think it comes with respect. What it really comes with is expectations and silence, because once you're seen as the strong one, no one checks if you're okay. They just hand you more. Wait, I remember the day my sister found out she was pregnant with Tyler. She showed up at my apartment crying, mascara down her face. No plan. No job, no clue. I held her for an hour, made her tea, and told her it would be okay. Then I let her move in rent-free. He stayed for 8 months, but nothing could. Nothing. But the second she moved out and her boyfriend got his act together, she suddenly had a whole new set of boundaries. We need space now, you understand, right? I did, of course I did, because that's the job. Fast forward 12 years. And here we are. My kid gets uninvited from the party she helped plan, and my sister doesn't even blink. Just tosses it out like it's a detail, like the chair is a logistical issue instead of an actual person. But what got me most was what she said. He was how familiar it felt, because Mia's been getting cropped out of this family since the day she started meeting a ramp. The first time it happened, it was subtle. Christmas photo a few years back, everyone smiling in front of the tree. Mia's chair didn't. My sister told me, we didn't think of that part. Sorry, said it like she forgot the weather forecast. Not her. Nice. I still didn't call it out, because calling it out would have meant admitting it was intentional. And if you admit that your family is okay hurting your kid, you can't unknow that. But I know it now, and I'm not going to be the quiet one anymore. After I told Mia we were skipping the party, things felt lighter, not easy, just less heavy. She didn't ask what the gift was. I think she wanted it to be a surprise, or maybe she just wanted to feel like she could trust me to handle it. Her brother, meanwhile, was furious in the way only little brothers can be. They're all garbage people, he muttered at dinner. I hope the cake falls over. I didn't correct him. He wasn't wrong. I hope the magician quits in the middle of a trick and tells everyone Santa's fake. Too far, Mia said, finally smiling a little. It was a small moment, but it was something that night. I pulled up the invite again. I stared at the RSVP list. Everyone else was going to be their aunts, cousins, family, friends, people who'd known me since she was born. Not one of them had said a thing. Not one of them asked why she didn't get an invite. They knew, and they stayed quiet. That was the other thing that hit me hard. The exclusion wasn't just from one kid, it was a group decision, spoken or not. It was agreed upon, and it hurt more than I expected, because I realized we were alone in this, not just me and Mia, but all the people who have ever been quietly erased, left off the list, pushed to the edge of the room so they don't ruin the vibe. This wasn't just a party, this was line, and we were drawing it ourselves. The next morning, I emailed the magician and the candy cart vendor. I'd paid for them directly, of course I had. I told them there'd been a venue change, asked if they could redirect to a different address. Both said yes. I sent a follow-up to the balloon delivery team and the guy who was setting up the phone booth. Then I called a few people, parents who I did trust, not a lot, just the ones who had shown up before, who'd asked how Mia was doing, not just to be polite, but because they cared. I told them the truth. Some of them cried, some asked what they could bring. We had a new party by lunchtime, same day, different address, same decorations, because I paid for those too. And for the first time in a long time, I felt something that didn't taste like guilt or survival. I felt like I was doing the right thing, not just as a mom, as a person, because this wasn't about being petty. He was about protecting my kid from thinking she deserved less and showing her through action that she's not going to be the forgotten one, not on my watch. The box looked expensive, wrapped in white paper with a deep green ribbon, jungle themed of course, sitting front and center near the cake table like it'd be status. It had a tack on the front, handwritten and gold inked, to Tyler from me, and my sister must have seen it. When she was arranging the other gifts, I'm sure she was confused, maybe a little smug. I imagine she thought it was some kind of peace offering, that even after everything Mia still wanted to give her cousin a present. Of course, she thought that people like her always assume kindness is submission. But the thing about quiet girls, as they grow teeth, we weren't at the party obviously, we were across town in our backyard, balloons tied to the fence, music playing, chairs set up on the lawn. Mia wore her favorite green dress and a gold headband. Her brother was manning the candy cart. The magician had just finished his first track. We had lemonade and mason jars, kids running around. Actual laughter. Kept checking my phone. I wasn't sure when it would happen, but I knew it would. I just didn't expect it to be so fast. At the real party, the one I paid for, the gift table was packed. But the box from me was different, bigger, shiny, or intentional. At some point someone must have asked about it, probably a kid. They always notice the biggest present first. What's this? One, oh, that's from me and my sister, must have said, probably a bit tight-lipped, probably with a fake smile. Oh cool. Why isn't she here? Awkward pause. She couldn't make it. Someone inevitably decided it was time to open the box. Inside, a single tablet, fully charged. Search, press play. So they did. The video starts with a soft piano melody in the background, then a clip of me at the kitchen table carefully assembling the goodie bags, then her voice calm and clear. Hi, Mia. I helped make a lot of this party. I picked out the candy. I helped design the signs. I tied the ribbons on every single jar because I wanted everything to look amazing for my cousin. Cut to her holding a jar and smiling. I was really excited to come, but I didn't get invited because I use a wheelchair. Gasps. That's not an exaggeration. I've seen the video down multiple times. You can hear or a few soft "oh my god" whispers, someone saying wait what. A dad in the background mutters, you've got to be kidding me. But the video keeps going. Me again, still calm, but a little more serious. I didn't want to make a scene. I just wanted people to know what happened, because if it happened to me, it's probably happened to us. They're kids too. And then the kicker, if you believe every kid deserves to feel welcome, we're having our own party today. There's food and games and music, and everyone's invited, even if you're different, especially if you're different. The screen fades to black, then one line appears, addresses on the back of the tag. The silence afterward was heavy. And then it broke, not into laughter, into movement. First a couple of parents started with spring, then one mom said loud enough to be heard, wait, she wasn't invited because of her wheelchair. Another added she helped plan the party. Then a dad, I thought she was sick or something, this is messed up. And then slowly one family got up and left. No drama, just packed up and walked out. Then another kid started asking questions. Why wasn't me invited? Did Tyler not like her? Wait, didn't she make the name tags? And then one little girl said loud and clear, that's mean. I almost felt bad for my sister, almost. But here's the thing, you don't get to exclude a child and then play victim when the truth shows up in high definition. The best part, the magician never arrived. The candy cart not there either, because they were in my backyard with us. As we had the magician pulling card tricks for me as friends, kids giggling around the snack table, and parents showing up one by one looking a little dazed, a little angry, but mostly relief that someone finally said it. One mom hugged me and whispered I didn't know what happened, I just knew it felt wrong. Another dad dropped off his twins and stayed for the entire event, helped clean up to by 3 p.m. Our backyard was full by 3:30. I got a text from a cousin, half the party walked out. Your sister's flipping out. The video was brutal. Also for he. Can I get the address back at the original party? I heard Tyler lot himself in the bathroom. I don't know if he was embarrassed or just overwhelmed, maybe both. He's 12. I can't pretend he's innocent. But I won't pretend he's the villain. Either he's a kid raised in a house that told him discomfort was more important than compassion. That's not his fault, but it's his choice now. As for my sister Heat, right to spin it, he told people I ambushed her, that Mia was being used for attention, that I made her look bad on purpose. But here's the thing about video evidence, it doesn't really care how you spin it. People saw Mia's hands time, both her voice steady, her face quiet and brave. They saw the truth. And they responded. At the end of the night, Mia sat on the porch with her brother eating the last cupcake. She looked tired, but happy. She asked, "Do you think they're still mad?" I shrugged. Probably. She smiled. Good. And for the first time in a long time, I didn't feel like I had to clean up the mess. I didn't feel like the bad guy for standing up for her. I just felt like a mom who did her damn job. The text messages kept coming all night, some supportive, some not. I ignored most of them, except one from a number I didn't recognize. He said, "She's braver than most adults I know." I showed it to me. She nodded and said, "I'm glad we sent the gift." I clinged to my juice class against hers. "Best gift I've ever given," I said. I knew it wouldn't, and with the video now, with my sister, not with how she operates. She's not the type to sit quietly when the mirror gets held up to her face, especially when it's playing on a tablet in front of 50 party guests. The morning after, I woke up to over 40 unread messages, group chats, missed calls, a few voicemails that started with "I just think it's sad that," and ended with me pressing delete. Then came the email subject line, "We need to talk about what you did." I didn't open it, didn't need to. I already knew what it would say, something about how I attacked the family, ruined Tyler, special day in me, a public spectacle out of a private misunderstanding, because that's what she does. She refrains, she makes herself the victim of the mess. She caused the what I didn't expect. What caught me off guard was the second wave, the lies. She started telling people me affect being uninvited, that she was always on list, that it was just a scheduling mix-up blown out of proportion by my emotional instability. Her words, she told extended relatives I manipulated the video, that it wasn't Mia's idea, that I made her say those things to humiliate Tyler. Then she really outdid herself. She told a few mutual friends that Mia was going through a phase and acting out for attention, and that her disability had become a personality. That one nearly sent me through the roof. I thought about calling her, about writing a long response with all the receipts, the text logs, the absence of an invite, the recorded call. But I didn't, because I knew something she didn't. And when you lie in a house full of windows, you don't get to scream when the truth comes knocking. And turns out kids talk, so do parents. One of the moms who'd been at the party posted a long note in a private parenting group on Facebook. She didn't name names, but she didn't have to. He was about how we talk to our kid about exclusion, how easy it is to justify cruelty when it's dressed up as the vibe, and how silence makes you complicit. That post got shared a lot. Someone else posted a clip of the video with the caption, "She helped plan the party, then she wasn't invited." That one, for the comments were brutal. "She's 12 and ham." Little did better than most adults, I would have burned the whole party down. This is what ableism looks like in real life: settled, dismissive, casual, and disgusting. Tell her she's a hero. My sister tried to clap back, made a few vague posts about false narratives and toxic behavior disguised as advocacy. Didn't work, because the thing about public sympathy is that it only works when people still believe you deserve it. He finally texted me 3 days later. He went too far. We could talked, but now it's beyond repair. Hope you're happy. I stared at it for a long time. And then I replied, "You uninvited my daughter from her cousin's birthday because of her wheelchair. You lied about it. Then you tried to make her look like the problem. We're not beyond repair because of what I did. We're beyond repair because I finally stopped attending. You didn't mean it." Walked on. I didn't need to hear anything else, and I didn't owe her anything. But she wasn't finished. A few days later, Mia came home from school with a tight face and watery eyes. "Tyler told people I edited the video to make him look bad," she said, dropping her bag, "and that I hacked his mom's eat and deleted my invite." She wasn't crying. He was just tired, the kind of tired you feel in your bones when you've been trying too hard for too long. I sat down with her. Do you believe any of that? She shook her head no. But it still sucks it, as I said. And I'm sorry, she nodded. I thought maybe it would be over. I didn't lie. I didn't say it would be. I just said people show you who they are. And now we know. We spent the evening making brownies. I let her pour the batter and lick the spoon even though she said she was too old for that. She smiled anyway. A week later, her school count. So called me. Apparently several kids, including some who hadn't been invited to the party, either had started a little club, nothing official, just a group that eats lunch together and make sure no one sits alone. They called it me as table. The counselor said she didn't ask for it, but she shows up every day. He's kind. She listens. She's not just included, she's leading. I thanked her and cried in my car for 10 minutes.